Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. This is Asad Yaqub from Madian Valley, Sawat, Switzerland of Pakistan. Okay, Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, KPK. Well guys, in this video I'm going to tell you the most common question types or the most common tenses in which they ask you questions in Ielts speaking part 1. Sometimes this happens that question is in a different tense and your answer is in a different tense. As a result, you get low bench score when you do such type of fatal mistakes. So let's take a start. The first thing is they are going to ask you questions with WH questions. For example, when. Now, whenever they ask you a question about when, it means it is a time. For example, when do you get up in the morning? When did you eat out? When did you drink tea last time? So when means if they use do you, did you, then you can understand present, past or future accordingly. After when, where. Where means location. For example, where do you usually hang out with your friends? Where do you go on the weekends? So where means location. Whenever they ask you any question with where, that means location. Next WH question is why. Why means reason. Whenever they ask you a question with why do people go to foreign countries, you need to give the reason, and when you give the reason, use signpost language. People go to foreign countries for a number of different reasons. Number one, first of all. Secondly, and finally, give 3 reasons, that's enough. So if there is a question with why, you can just do that. Next, they can ask you questions with what. What means activities or anything like that. For example, what do you eat for breakfast? What do you usually do on weekends? What do you do to help other people? What means whatever you do. It can be what did you do, what do you do, what will you do. After what, we have how. Now for how, there are 2 structures, how often and how long. For example, how often do you meet your family members? How often do you visit your relatives? Now how often means frequency. How many times? How often do you visit your relatives? Well, I visit my relatives once a month. How often do you go out with your family members? I go out with my family members every weekend. How often? Every weekend. How often? Once a month, right? And the last structure in which they can ask you question, that is how long have you been? How long? How long means duration, right? How long? Duration, okay? So for example, if they ask you a question, how long have you been learning English? Now they mean in this question that they want to know the duration. When did you start? You went on and present. So how long have you been learning English? Well, I've been learning English for 5 years and now my English is better than before, but still I need to improve a lot. So to answer your question, I've been learning this language for 5 years, right? Something like this. How long have you been? Present perfect continuous tense, right? And usually what do the students do? They say, how long have you been learning English? I am learning English for 1 month. I am learning this language. This is this. See that? If you use the wrong tense, examiner asks you a question and to answer that question you use the wrong tense, you are giving a message to the examiner that give me 4.5 or 5 band. So you don't want to miss it. Now, I tell you how to identify the tense in Ielts. Okay, I'll tell you that in separate videos, it's getting longer. But for now, remember these WH questions, right? When, where, why, who, how often, how long, right? And there can be a couple more. And for each WH question, you should know how to deal with that. Where means place, when means time, right? How means method or manner and all that. All the best guys. I also teach Ielts online all over the world and on campus in Lahore. If you want to be the part of my online or on campus Ielts classes, my WhatsApp number is given. You can contact me for that. Well, Asad Yaqub truly wishes you best of luck from this beautiful Madian Valley. It's in Sawat. and Swat is in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, Pakistan, and this is northern area of Pakistan. Very, very beautiful. It's cloudy, windy, it's going to rain anytime. The river is flowing right behind me and I'm enjoying talking to you in this video. All the best, take care, bye-bye, Allah Hafiz.